I'm a new mom. I have a full-time job. I'm also a board member of a couple of organizations. So one of the ways that I avoid being burnt out is being very intentional with what I choose to spend my time with, because at the end of the day, all of these things are meaningful to me. And so that's why I can avoid some of that burnt outness, because I'm not overcommitting to the things that are totally possible, but being very intentional about where I'm committing my time.
I am very excited to have my friend Christina here to speak a little bit more about how in the world she got into where she is. Christina, tell me a little bit more. What does it mean to work at PR and in an agency?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here, Monica. I'm super excited and happy to share. It's actually really funny. I wasn't one of those people who set out in high school or college saying, I want to get into strategy, I want to work at an agency. But I stumbled into it a little bit, and it was actually the perfect storm of my passions, my experiences that brought me to where I am. And what I mean by that is I am curious by nature. I majored in philosophy. I love people and cultures and digging into psychology. I worked across various different industries and categories, whether that be technology, food and wine, nonprofit, as well as pharma. And what strategists really do is they lean into what are the category, cultural, consumer, as well as brand insights, and formulate a way for the brand or company to be able to actually reach their consumers in not only a differentiated but very relevant way.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like there's so much probably to learn into it. So, diving right back in, tell me your first job and what was it like? How did that skill? What skill did you need to excel in that job?
Yes. So I have a bit of an untraditional path into strategy, and my very first job was actually in sales. I wouldn't take it back, even though it sounds a little bit unglamorous. It was a lot of hard skills that brought me to where I am today. I learned how to be able to communicate appropriately. I learned, most importantly, the specific attitude I think that got me to where I am today. And that is, don't let other people say no for you. Meaning, a lot of times people just automatically discount themselves and say, well, I don't know if I should even ask because what if they say no? But the correct attitude that I actually learned during that first job is, but what if they say yes? And so that has brought me so many opportunities by asking someone, hey, do you mind to have a meeting? What do you think about this? And you'd be surprised how many times people do say yes. So I think some of the most important skills that you can learn is being able to just ask and not being afraid of no.
I'm sure also as you continue to now build your expertise and grow into the industry that you're in right now, tell us a little bit more how your experiences and skills helped you get clarity, which direction you wanted to hone.
Yeah, so I think that some of the skills that I was able to find really valuable in this industry is flexibility. Not only are things changing at such a rapid pace within culture, but also within our industry. And so being able to adapt quickly to whether it be a new updated timeline because maybe budgets are getting cut. And that flexibility skill is really key no matter where you go and very transferable. And another thing is the ability to be able to cut through a lot of the noise and find that simple, clear way of not only communicating, but maybe distilling certain insights so that you can make whatever you're saying to the client or your team very understandable.
So many skills that I feel like I'm hearing from you that is so important. You're also working in New York, am I right? I feel like that in itself brings a different culture. Tell me a little bit more about the New York culture, especially when it comes to media and advertising, because I feel it's even more of a hustle than I think in other places.
Oh my gosh, definitely. Yes. So definitely started off in New York. I'm currently based in Pennsylvania, but my company is based in New York where I often go most of the time. I'm a fully remote hire, but the New York hustle and bustle is definitely in kind of like this in your face. There's a certain energy to the advertising and marketing field in New York, which is where a lot of the jobs are concentrated. Right? So you always have some kind of interesting like event or get together, or nowadays a lot of virtual ways to be able to connect and share and learn from everybody within the industry.